Hi guys, you get to see me again today. Wow, 2 days in a row, look at that. Maybe I can keep this up, I don't know. If I can keep this up over the weekend, that'll be good. I might try to do a video every day this weekend, possibly every day next week. I don't know, we'll see. I need to keep myself distracted from, the internal struggle in my head. So, since I haven't done anything TNA related on here, on my channel, I'm going to be doing a TNA DVD review, and I will be showing off all of my collection at some point. And if you want any, obviously I will be reviewing this one, so any of the other ones that I show you, if you want them reviewed, just hit me up in the comments, and I think maybe whichever one gets the most comments, I'll do a review on that one eventually. Before we start, as always, like and subscribe if you like what you see. Turn on all notification bell when I think my channel has that. I think I updated my audience status for a couple of my videos a couple of days ago, so it should be good. So, Bound for Glory 2005. Now this one holds a very special freaking place in my heart because back when I started watching TNA in 2011, 2010, whenever it was, well, I didn't watch it full time until 2012, but back when I was getting introduced to it, I went to a wrestling live event in, I think it was Gasway, West Virginia, at the Armory. And they were giving out these brown bags, and I think we all got the same thing. It was 4 DVDs, a t-shirt, which I think it was a Jeff Hardy t-shirt. I think that's all we got. I don't think we got the pendants. Were the pendants on sale separately? I think they were, because they had Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy pendants, which I regret not getting now, because his Enigma symbol is really cool. I do have, speaking of Jeff Hardy, before we get into this, I do have Enigma Best of Jeff Hardy Volumes 1 and 2, but I'm not going to be reviewing number 2 until I get the US copy, because, when you're looking for TNA DVDs on eBay, there's not always a description until I found out how to do the select region or country thing. So I will be getting a copy of that in the coming months, hopefully. And just warning, next couple days or whatever, maybe next week, there's going to be an unboxing or an unpackaging or something of some sort. Whether it's in a box or whatever, I'll show it to you. But I'm not going to tell you guys what it is, because I'm going to make y'all wait. There will be some more action figure stuff related on the channel. As you can see, if you guys want to check out my Elite 85 Karrion Kross and Elite 92 Scarlet figure reviews, or unboxing review, I should say, because I did it both in the same video, please check that out. Give that a like, give that a comment or two, or more. I got them in a package deal, so that was really, really cool. Alright, so back to this pay-per-view. Bound for Glory 2005 holds a special place in my heart, because it was the first time I saw my favorite TNA wrestler, AJ Styles. Now, I'd heard of AJ Styles, because my cousins watched it, and, they didn't exactly like AJ Styles, his character at the time, because he was with Ric Flair, and he was a heel, which is understandable, but I did. even though I'd never watched TNA. I was like, AJ Styles, that sounds like a cool name. So this is the first time I saw AJ Styles. And we'll get to his match in a minute. So this is a good pay-per-view. Really good. I've watched this thing 1,000 times, and I might watch it after I do the review on it, to be honest. So you put this again, there's no previews or anything. I think I want to say Rhino on the cover. Maybe? I don't know. I guess because he won the title that night, I think. Oops, did I just give that away? Sorry, if you TNA fans that buy this. Sorry, I just spoiled the outcome. But if you guys want to check us out, if you guys are looking for something a little alternative to WWE, go check out some of TNA's DVDs. I'm trying to find more, and they're really good. I go for the non-pay-per-view DVDs just because, especially now because they're uploading a lot of pay-per-views on YouTube now, but Bound for Glory 2005 starts off with a we have Mike Tenay and Don West opening the show, and basically saying that it's going to be a 3.5 hour pay-per-view, and the first 30 minutes is going to be free on Spike TV. I loved when they freaking did that back in the day. Those are the days I liked TNA. Like it now, but still, those are good. Then we have like a video or something of like Jeff Jarrett and James Storm, Chris Harris, and Gail Kim come into the building, and they got this casket with them because they're like, someone's gonna go in a casket tonight because, they did that whole. You TNA fans will know what I'm talking about. They did this thing where America's Most Wanted, that's Chris Harris and James Storm, for those that don't know, taking on the Dudleys. Or Team 3Ds, they were known in TNA. Bubba Ray and Devon, or Bully Ray. They beat him up, basically bloodied him, and held this so-called funeral for them. And, they came out with a casket and said, we're going to put someone in a casket tonight at Bound for Glory. And it was supposed to be Kevin Nash. They announced then that Kevin Nash is not competing at this pay-per-view because he has some kind of a... What did he have, older fans? Didn't he have like a heart problem or something? Or didn't he had something wrong that he couldn't make it to the show and he couldn't compete because he dialed 911 from his hotel room or something. I don't know, some ailment or something. But they're going, who's gonna challenge Jarrett for the title? So then we have a 4-way match between Sanjay Dutt, Alex Shelley, yes, Motor City Machine Gun Alex Shelley. They're both on this show, by the way. Sanjay Dutt, Alex Shelley, Austin Aries, and Roderick Strong. And it was a good match. So I'm not going to give any more winners here because I don't want to spoil anything else for anyone. When they get this, it's a really good DVD. Pick it up if you have a chance. TNA DVDs are kind of hard to come by anymore, but I find them pretty okay if they're in good condition and good price and the right format. Then we have they're kind of running down the card what matches are going to be there on the card. And then they have they have a segment featuring Raven. No, they do an AJ Styles interview in the back because he's facing Christopher Daniels later that night. And that's the match that really got me hooked on TNA. Let me tell you something. That match, go back and look it up on YouTube. It's on YouTube, I think. Or get this DVD. Or, you know what? Get the Essential AJ Styles collection, which I'll review probably tomorrow. Maybe. I might show off my whole collection TNA DVDs first, though, before I do that. But, they do an interview with AJ in the back. Shane Douglas is interviewing him. Then they're running down the card somewhere, basically addressing the Kevin Nash situation, and then Raven comes out and demands that Larry Zbyszko put him in a title match. Because, like, in all fairness, Raven got screwed out of that title. You know, he got screwed out of that title, and he should have got a rematch. But, you know, Zbyszko didn't like him, and they had him thrown out. Rhino came out before that, though, and got in Raven's face. And Cassidy Riley, I guess he's a former wrestler, I guess. I don't know what he was doing that night. I guess he was Raven's biggest fan or something like that. Or that's what they were telling the story as. But, like, Rhino comes out and freaking gores him. I liked Rhino's TNA run, alright. It was good. Like, his stuff with Christian Cage was good. Matches with AJ were good. I don't know, Rhino had a good run in TNA. But, like, they throw him out. They throw him, Raven out. Because Rhino's got another match later tonight. You know, that's not the first time we see Rhino. Or last time we see Rhino. Then they, cut to this thing where it's gonna be pre-match ritual or something, I guess, from Samoa Joe and what were they called? Like Polynesian dancers or something. Whatever his like entrance was in TNA. It must have been a cool visual because everyone said it was cool. Like the Samoan streamer dancers or whatever, something like that. So they have a pre-tape of that, and then they have Jushin Thunder Liger doing like warm-ups or whatever. Or getting pumped up. Video package for Bound for Glory. Now it's the paid portion. This is where stuff really goes down. They opened up the show with Pyro. I like TNA. See, I like TNA's Pyros a little better than WWE's Pyro back in the day. I mean, I don't know, it just felt more... TNA shows, even like back then, just felt more... I mean, not the WWE shows weren't, but like, you know, with Jim Ross and everything, but TNA shows just felt more special in that respect for some reason. I don't know, it just, something about them made me... I was more excited to watch a TNA show than a WWE show. And I've been to 2 TNA shows. House shows, but they were good. Then the first match of the night is Samoa Joe the main show anyway. Samoa Joe going against Jushin Thunder Liger. And Joe's undefeated streak, so I think we all know who wins that one. Because we all know what happened with Kurt Angle a couple months later, or a year later, rather. We get a backstage interview with Simon Diamond and the Diamonds in the Rough, and they will be taking this team of Simon Diamond, Elix Skipper, and David Young going against Sonny Siaki, Shark Boy, and Apollo, the Puerto Rican star. That match happens, and then they do like a fan fest. They show stuff from like Fan Fest. Man, that would have been so cool to go to back in the day. I would have loved to have gone. One of these days, I'm gonna go to either WWE or some kind of wrestling interactive show, like before, you know, the shows that they have like before the pay-per-views or whatever, Fan Fest. I want to go to one of those so freaking bad. One of these days, I think it's gonna happen. When I find the right people and I can trust the right people, I'm gonna freaking go to one of them freaking interactive shows because they sound fun. They show footage of that. Then they have Jeff Jarrett in the back, just basically naming down challengers that he thinks are going to challenge him for the title. And basically tell Rhino, okay, whatever, screw him, or screw Sabu, or Raven, or whatever. But Monty Brown comes up to him and says, okay, alright, watch what I can do out there. And Jarrett kind of gets in his face, talks him down a little bit. So then we have Monty Brown taking on Lance Hoyt, now known as Lance Archer in AEW, managed by Jake the Snake Roberts. Haven't seen him for a while. Then we had an interview with Team Canada, not Team Canada, the Three Live Crew. And I guess Kip James, also known as Billy Gunn in WWE and AEW, comes up to him and says, I'll watch your back. Like, I'll even it up for Team Canada. So you know how they are. And there's divided opinions. You know, some of them don't trust him. But, Team Canada and Three Live Crew are up next, and then after the match, Billy Gunn gets involved and hits, I don't know if he hits both of them with a chair. I don't know which member of Team Canada he hits. They don't say. But he hits one of them with a chair. Backstage segment with Larry Zbyszko and Shane Douglas. Zbyszko's flustered trying to figure out who's going to challenge Jarrett for the title. Shane Douglas is like, you got plenty of people around here that could challenge him. And Zbyszko's like, I know that, but everyone with a shot. Like, you know, trying to figure it out. And he's like, I want Shane to be the first to know. When I get something figured out, I want Shane to be the first to know. Shane Douglas was really good, a really good, like, backstage interviewer back in those days. TNA, he just had the vibe for it. We have a match with the Ultimate X match. Chris Sabin, Chris Sabin, Peter Williams, and Matt Bentley. And they just had a freaking heck of an Ultimate X match. There's also a bonus match on this DVD where it's like the rematch on TNA's primetime, one of the primetime TNA episodes or something, where they have the rematch. And that's on here too. You just gotta look for it. I didn't know it was on there until years later. And I've had this DVD for about, want to say, 11 years. Crazy. At one point in the match, the freaking X falls from the cause they have like an X shaped, and they have this like this metal X or something that they hang above the ring. You know, get it? Ultimate X. X Division. So, sorry, I'm having a coughing fit. So, they have the, they have to put the X back up, and then they do the thing where freaking P.D. Williams is oh my god, P.D. Williams. Yeah, let's just say he's shown in that match. He shines in that match. All three of them did, but like, I mean, everyone thought, I think going into that, I felt like, because like I knew Chris Sabin's history. I didn't when I first watched it, but later years when I watched this back, now looking back, I'm like, You know, they gotta think that Chris Sabin's the favorite going into this, because he won, like, 3 straight ones in 2004 or something. 3 straight Ultimate X matches. Because, like, the Ultimate X match was kind of made for him. It was his match. Like, the Monster Ball was Abyss's match. Kind of like that. But, yeah. I mean, let's just face it. Those 3 guys, Chris Sabin, they need to put him. I'll get back to the DVD in a second, but they need to put Chris Sabin. They should have done it this year. Because they had access to him. They had access to Eric Young. I mean, I understand you don't have access to guys at some points in TNA, but you should have put either him or frickin' Eric Young, or you could have put the Motor City Machine Guns as a tag team in the Hall of Fame this year. Like, for the... I mean, yeah, I know Sabin had that stint in Ring of Honor, but, like, let's face it, Chris Sabin, I think, is TNA bound, if I feel like. Because that's where he got Triple Crown winner. Probably been in more Ultimate X matches than freaking anyone in that company. Sabin could go in just for that. Like, if they ever had categories for the TNA Hall of Fame and they wanted to put, like, X Division or Ultimate X Legend, Chris Sabin's my first person going in there. Either him or AJ Styles, because AJ was the first Ultimate or the X Division champion. So Ultimate X match happens. Then this is where it gets freaking bloody. This is where the half of the part of the show, it's like, oh, you know what, we're gonna give you all your flippy cruiserweight stuff or whatever in the first hour or half of the show, and then we're gonna give you all the freaking hardcore stuff with like an Ultimate X match and an Iron Man match in between, something like that. But then they do the Naturals and America's Most Wanted, and they show, oh, I forgot to mention that on the pre-show, they did a interview with Shane Douglas interviewing America's Most Wanted, and they showed the footage of basically them smashing a bottle over Chase Stevens' head. There's another underrated tag team, the Naturals. Whatever happened to them. But I think Stevens still wrestles. I don't know if Douglas does though. Andy Douglas, not Shane Douglas. Sorry. He did manage them at one point after Chris Candido did. Fun fact. But you know, they just bloody. They basically bloodied the Naturals the night before, because this was when they were doing Saturday Night Impact. So that match happens. Then they have the Monsters Ball match between Jeff Hardy, Sabu, Abyss, and Rhino. Let me just tell you something. There's a lot of freaking brutal spots in that match. But there's that one of freaking, I don't know where he goes. I don't know if he goes up to the top of the, because I know WWE has that big Titantron, but I don't know what TNA had back in the day for their logo or structure wise. But he goes up to the top, talking about Jeff Hardy. He's in there battling with Abyss. Sabu's got Rhino down, and freaking Hardy goes up to the top of this freaking logo thingy or wherever it is. Whatever he does. This is after he'd already freaking done a double sledge off the top of this, like, set of bleachers in the building. Sorry for my voice cracking. And, like, taking out Abyss. So he goes up to the top of this structure and freaking hits a super swanton on him. Like, I forget how many feet they said it was, 30? Maybe? I don't know. Were any of you guys in the building for that show that night? It was 2005. Let me know in the comments. Oh my god. That's probably the first one that I've seen him do, and that one sticks in my head. Like, because, like, your first memory of something, that sticks in your head. Because, I know it's your first one. That's my first, like, swanton bomb I ever saw him do. Like, major one. So then Rhino freaking gores him through a table, Abyss, after he gets swanton to one. That must have been nice. So, that match ends. I'm just gonna tell you, okay, I said I wasn't gonna spoil anything, but, I'll have to spoil something later. Then we get my favorite match on this entire card. Go look it up. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, 30-minute Iron Man match. Second one. Not from Against All Odds. The Bound for Glory one. I could match that watch and never get tired of it. I'll take AJ Styles matches over some of the stuff that we were seeing when Vince was there. Especially in the last couple of years. Or in WWE, rather. I'll take any of TNA or AJ Styles' TNA matches over, that. Then, before that match happens, though, they have a this thing where Shane Douglas and Sabisco are in the locker room again. And Jeff Jarrett's standing there and he's like, I want to know who I'm facing. And Zabisco's finally like, you know what? We're going to take 10 men that have already wrestled tonight and we're going to put them in a gauntlet match. And that person's going to face you for the title tonight. And Douglas kind of gets in defense of him and he's like, whoa, that's not fair to him. You got to give him a game plan. And then they have the Iron Man match, AJ and Daniels. Again, that match is freaking gold. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I'm sure I don't know if it's on both of AJ's or all three of AJ Styles' TNA DVDs or not. I still need the second or the other two. So, then they have this gauntlet match. And of course, they're going to put 4 of the men that were already in the Monsters Ball match, who have already freaking went through a war out there. Not only that, but they put AJ Styles. They made AJ Styles. They put him out there after he had just had a 30-minute Iron Man match with Christopher Daniels. And it's like, oh my god, if you have him win that, that's going to be that's going to give him the Iron Man nickname for sure, because I'm just going to spoil this right now. Rhino wins it, obviously. And he won the Monsters Ball match. Okay, so he won 3 matches. Almost straight. So Tito Ortiz is refereeing the main event. Rhino's out there. He's been through freaking hell and back. That show. Jarrett comes out with the casket. He gets in there. He knows Rhino's not fresh. I think he busts Rhino open with the belt or something at some point in the match. Rhino's bleeding everywhere. And Gail Kim comes out. Tito Ortiz is kicking her out of there. He's kicking out AEW. Jarrett's hitting him with everything. And then Rhino turns around and just freaking gores him and wins the title. And then they all come out. America's Most Wanted come back out, try to take out Rhino. They put him in the casket. Jarrett's like standing on top of it with the belt that he just lost. And then we hear Team 3D's music, and they just come out and start freaking 3D'ing people left and right. Team Canada come out to help. Oh, I forgot. 3 Live Crew and Team Canada came out to even things up for both sides. So, Team 3D come out. Bubba Ray and Devon, they're just 3D'ing everyone in sight. Bam, bam, bam. And they put Eric Young in the casket and freaking take it out of there. But that ends the show. And let me tell you something, that was a good pay-per-view. You know, people give TNA a lot of freaking crap. I understand that they weren't perfect. I understand that they had a lot of turmoil. Back in those days, TNA was freaking great. I mean, I was 10, I was 11 when the Bischoff and Hogan era started, so I didn't know any better. I liked that era as a kid, and I kind of like going back and watching some of that stuff just because I have fond memories of it. That's the only reason why I watch it. I mean, because I thought that was good stuff back then. I mean, it's not anything because I didn't like the pre-Bischoff or Hogan era, but I mean, you know, it's just nostalgia purposes. You know, I like some of the stuff where I like the Aces and Eights angle. Yeah, it got bad after a while, but like, there's a couple things they could have done differently, but I like the Aces and Eights stuff in 2012, 2013, Blu-ray winning the title and everything. You know, people crap on TNA a lot, but I like their product when it's good. Even now they're doing okay. I mean, they're not on primetime television anymore, but like, you know, they're still managing. As long as they can still manage, I can deal. I don't want to see that company go out of business. I hope that one day they might be able to come back onto national television. But as always, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And let me know what you thought of this pay-per-view. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Were you at the show? And if you were, what was your experience like? You know, all that good stuff. See ya.